Hi everybody, this is Sherry and I am from Succulent Babies Society, also Succulent Babies on Facebook and YouTube channel Succulent Babies. Today we're going to be talking about these beautiful agave plants that I have here, pictured for you to view and to see how many kinds and the information that is connected to these plants. Now, as you know, agave and yuccas belong to the same subfamily, Agravadia, and have a similar appearance. They have long, thin leaves bearing a sharp point at the end, and this definitely is there, radiating from a central stem to form a symmetric rosette, as you can see from the middle part. This middle part. The main distinguishing features that are with a yucca are leaves that are thinner, but with an agave, their leaves are generally thicker, wider, more tapering, and often edged by spines that do not have thin hairs. Now these are pups or offsets of an Americana plant, and they do not have any points at this point. Agaves are succulent plants, meaning that their leaves retain the moisture, the water, and so they're thick and they're fleshy. And they radiate from a short central stem that's protected by a long spine at the tip, but by rows of equally sharp spines across and along the edges. As you can see, the edges of them have these little pointers that could actually hurt you. So I wouldn't recommend planting this in a garden where you have small children that might want to touch it or animals that might want to chew on it. So in the family of agaves, there's about 200 species, and they're native to the regions of Mexico, the Caribbean, and America. The genus contains a number of economically important species, equally those special required for production of blue agave, like for instance for like tequila, liquor drinks. And they also make a agave called a agave nectar, which is a syrupy kind of sweetener. Additionally, they can be grown as ornamentals in a desert landscape. Does agave have a fruit or vegetable? Well, they're developmentally fruit, so they're not related to cactus as well. So where is the agave family from? Well, it's from asparagus family. So it's very popular, the agave syrup. It's very sweet, and it's very healthy in the health community. You can chew agave and then spit the leaves out because the fiber can be boiled down into juice and used into soup. Soup. Agaves are not aloe veras. That is an aloe vera. This is an agave. So most bear spines along the edges and the tip of the leaf, which this one is totally showing us, if we can get a little closer to it. Once again, they are not related to any cacti at all. The leaves can range in pale green to blue-green, can be variegated or striped, as you can see from this one. And as you can see from my examples here that I have that have some pink in them. Let's let the sun catch this one. This is a aloe. This is not an agave. This is an aloe, not an agave. This is an agave. This is an agave. This is an agave. This is agave, and it also has babies on her, as you can see. And she also has a spider in her little pot. Hello. So species are able to reproduce vegetation and generate colonial rosettes at the base of the main stem, and they produce bulb-like structures, bulbums, that can form new plants. That's meaning that each rosette dies after flowering and fruiting. So most of these plants do not live over 30 years. The yellow, blue, green, or red flowers are grown in tall branching, like 30 feet in height. Each flower consists of 6 petals, and so they get the flowers get pollinated, by the bats, insects, the bees, the birds, hawk moths, and the flowers produce capsule fruits. So they take it in because of the photosynthesis pathway, and it's called CAM, which is caecilian acid metabolism, and through which is carbon dioxide, which is fixed to at night, for them to limit the water loss that they have. So that means that out in the desert, when it's nighttime, they store their water. So some people in Mexico, they use them. The guave plants are, the genesis is more diverse because they have strong fibrous tissues in their leaves that makes them useful for using in ropes, brushes, sandals, nets, sleeping mats, and similar items. The fibers of some specimens can be removed with the terminal spine. So how cool is that? And the leaf still stays attached, forming a point of a needle and thread. So you could actually use that someday to thread yourself and use that to sew that needle. Okay, so if you want to eat this, you have to make sure you look this up and make sure that you get the information, especially if you're going to use it like with the guave nectar to prepare it and to make sure like it's all sanitized. And be careful because of the sap formation. A guave species is considered toxic and require cooking prior to ingestion. Remember that. I'm disclosing that I am not saying to go out and eat an agave plant at all. I want to show you a picture that is on here. This is an agave farm, and it's made for tequila purposes production. And this is in Mexico. So what is tequila? It's a distilled liquor. It's usually clear in color and underage. It's made from fermented juice of the Mexican agave plant. There's specifically several varieties of agave tequila. Tequila contains 40 to 50% alcohol, 80 to 100% U.S. proof. The beverage, which is developed soon after the Spaniards introduced distillation to Mexico. Okay, so if you want to know about the fiber in Cuba, the plant was introduced in the 19th century and became the country's well-known plant. Agaves have been around for a long time. If you don't know what photosynthesis is the process of which green plants and certain other organisms transform the light into energy. There are exactly 200 or more species of agaves. And what you do when you have babies or pups, these are pups, they're offsets from the plant. You take them from the plant and you can reroot them into the soil like I have here. Please wear gloves when you are using or touching these because of the fact that these little spines that can hurt you. And yeah, so if you want to go on my group, Succulent Baby Society, I am on Facebook. I am doing a society online research. You're welcome to join. It is $20 a year to join, or Succulent Babies on Facebook. And that Succulent Babies is free. I sell on there. So these are all for sale. These would be $12 each, which is a good price. And I have lots more. I have a nursery. Okay, so yeah. And if you like, they're so beautiful. I'm totally into them. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful time viewing my video. Thank you so much for your interest.